straight to the point. Fiesta, petrol 1.25. It's a 2012 plate, pretty sure they're the same, 2008 upwards. We're going to do a service at a fraction of the cost. For the whole service kit, cost me £57. That's plugs, oil filter, air filter, so pretty much everything apart from the cabin filter. You can do this yourself, and let me just show you a quick video how to do it. These are T30 bolts. I just undo these four. I've just done that. You can just use a little ratchet. If you've got a mini ratchet set, that would be absolutely fine. Okay, and then take your air filter out. Notice that the air filter actually isn't in that bad a condition in here, so it is actually quite clean, but we'll change it anyway. If there's any leaves or anything in here, clean them out. Always a good thing to do. Alright, and then we'll get our new filter in. New filter, you can see the difference. It's pretty dirty. Get that one in. Sorry guys, I've got a tripod for the camera today. Just throw that in now. Get it sitting nice and flush with the mount. All the edges in, like so. 1 second. Yeah. Just good as it gets on this one. Get that back in and do them T30s back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and easy. On to the next. I'll use this, but I know you'll be using a little ratchet, which is absolutely fine. Let's do these up. Nice. Obviously you've got the chance of overdoing it with using a gun, so I'd say don't. Just use a ratchet. There you go, so that's that done. That's the air filter done, and we've been on this about 1.5 minutes. So air filter changed. That's it. Now we're going to do the plugs. Taking the plugs off. Need to keep them in order, these core leads, otherwise the engine isn't going to fire properly. Alright, obviously it's the longest working anyway, so it's quite obvious. You just pull these out. It's looking pretty clean. Pull these out, move it to the side. We know that's one. We know that's 2, because that's the next one along, the next one that's going to fit that length, if that makes any sense. 2, just throw it back. 3, and again, you know where that's going to go. And 4, pull it out. A bit tight, that one. 4, okay. And then obviously your plugs are inside here. You can't see them, but they're inside there. Alright, pretty sure that's a 16 in there. Bear with me and I will find out for you. 16, I don't know where I was at 16. Right, there we go. Okay, we've got our 10 spark plug puller. We'll just get that in there, get it on, and you feel it mount onto the plug, and then we'll crank the plug off. We're going to take all of them out, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll take them all out, then we'll get them in. Bear with me, I'll get a ratchet on this. Alright, got our ratchet. Here's our 10 spark plug puller. Get it on there, push down, it clicks onto it. Heard it sink onto it anyway, and that's already turning that. That's not tight at all. Sorry about the filming. I'm trying to do it while I'm filming, as I haven't got my tripod, but we'll take this one out. It's pretty straightforward so far, to be honest. And there she comes. There you go. That's it. That literally took me 2 minutes to take them out. I'll skip the video to that, obviously. Used them, I cranked it, just rolled it out on, like I showed you on the first one. All of them came out perfectly. And actually all the plugs look like they're burning perfectly as well. If I show you that plug there, you can see that actually looks pretty good, you know. It's not got any oil on it, it's not wet, anything like that. It's burning nice. Show you cross comparison to a new one. Obviously these have been in a while. I also just checked the length and the numbers, make sure they're the same length and that, and they're absolutely perfect. Okay, so let's get the new plugs in. A note, obviously we've got our spark plug holder here. Get it in there, make sure the tips are tight. These tips unscrew, make sure they're tight. Okay, got it in spark plug holder. When you put it in, don't just throw it in, put it in and look for the hole. Okay, you don't want to cross thread it, so just be nice and gentle, and if it takes, it's correct. Right, that one's taken now. We know she's turning. She hasn't cross-threaded, so she's not got tight on a single turn. You know, it's gone all the way down, and that's perfect. That one's gone in really, really nice. Okay, then we'll get another one out of the box. Obviously using NGK plugs. Okay, exactly the same. Get it in, and nice and gentle again. I'm putting it in nice and gentle. I feel it seat into that hole. Now I'm just turning, make it find its own hole. Don't force it if it starts resisting on the first few turns. Just get it in there, and that's it. That's nice and tight. Now I'm not using a torque wrench, no, but we're talking about service for amateurs here. Okay, I've put it in. I can feel it's tight. Let me just adjust that. I can feel it's tight, and that's tight enough. I'm not doing it very super tight. Okay, I'm going by how it was when I undone it, and it wasn't super tight. Let's do that one up, and look, it's now got a bit of tightness on it, and I just a little bit, like 10 mil. Yeah, that's that one. That's number 2. Okay, and then we'll go on to 3 and 4, and I'll be back once that's done. That's it. Plugs are in. Pretty straightforward. Now we just put our leads back. I know that pulling that lead, it'll only go to number 1. That's the only place it can go. Alright, put it in nice and straight, push down, and a nice push down. Okay, number 2, where are you? That one won't reach to number 3, it'll only reach to number 2. Get it in over the top of the plug and push down. You hear the click. Okay, number 3 again. Okay, let's just do that. Get it in, goes over the tip of the plug, push down, listen to the click. Okay, and finally number 4. That's the only one it'll reach. Get it in, over the plug, hear the click. Right, you just tuck the leads back in, nice and neat. That's what the little grooves are for, down the side of the heads. Okay, so they all hold each other in, essentially. Push that one down there, like that. That one don't need it, that one does. There you go. Okay, that's it. So now we've done air filter and our spark plugs, and we're talking about minutes. Now I would suggest, obviously we've done that and that's not going to affect the car starting, but these will, just to make sure everything's okay. Let's turn the car over, start it up, and make sure she starts properly and runs. Let's give her a start. There you go. Started first time, and it's running lovely. So I have got my little charge pack on it. The car's been sat for a while. That's the reason I'm using this. Gonna give it a charge and see if she holds charge. But as you can see, running absolutely perfectly. All right, it's not jogging, it's not missing. It's actually really quiet. So water levels all perfect as well. Things to check. Oil level when I first picked up was perfect as well. So getting into it, let's get the oil out, get the oil filter changed. Don't even know where the oil filter is on this, but I'm going to guess it's underneath, as I can't see it from the top, but let's get on it. Right, got a jack under her. Obviously people, if you're jacking your car up, you can use your standard jack, but don't ever go underneath it unless you've got an axle stand. It's just not safe enough, alright? I'm going to trust my big jack, and I'm just going to get it jacked up. I'm going to get it high enough where you can work, obviously, on the car. Get underneath, get to the sump plug and the oil filter. Alright, once we've got it up, I'll show you where everything is. Never been under one of these cars before. Let me just tighten that up. But I'm guessing even I'll be able to find it, and I'm no mechanic. Right, let's have a look. Where are we? Oil filter, bang, straight in front of you on this car. Nice and easy, and sump plug, oil sump plug here. Okay, so looking at the front of the car, there's your oil filter, right at the front bumper's here. There you go, front bumper, straight under, you've got your oil filter, and here, there's only one plug on this, you've got your sump plug to take the oil out. Alright, we'll drain the oil out first. That looks like, I don't know, it looks like a 12 or something, I'll figure it out. Once you've drained the oil out, we'll take the oil filter off, running around under this car, and then we'll get moving. Having a look under here, you can see, I've not been under it before, that looks like it's a new caliper on that side, and there's not one single drip of oil underneath this car, which is really, really, really good. It's very, very, very clean. Actually, for the year of the car, it's super clean. I can't see anything under it at all. Not even any rust, nothing. It looks absolutely perfect. So, right, getting back onto it, let's get that drained. You can use a bucket or anything of the sort, really, like that, just to catch oil when you get it off. All right, let's get it undone, set this up so you can see it happening. I have tested this, and it is a 13. All right, so I'm not no Superman. This is a 13, so we'll get the ratchet on it and get that off. You can use a ratchet or a spanner. All right, have a cloth to hand, just a dirty old cloth. It's going to get messy, no doubt. And we're just going to go anti-clockwise on that. Okay, so anti-clockwise, quite straightforward what way we're going. Okay, and then once it's cranked a little bit, you'll be able to do it anyway. So if I just crank that a touch, so you saw it go loose there. Okay, we'll lift that up. I'm putting pressure on the plug inwards that way while I'm undoing it, because I'm trying to prevent the oil from coming out until I move it away to keep it clean. There you go, and there's all the dirty engine oil coming out now. The reason I said the cloth is that's going to drip, so now I can give that a clean. Let's have a look at that. This looks like it's got a rubber washer on this rather than a copper washer, so I'm not going to change that. Didn't order one anyway, and I just don't think it's going to leak. It's as simple as that. Right, so that's all clean and nice and ready to go back on. Keep that to one side and let the oil drain out. The oil does look pretty dirty. Right, once we've drained that, we'll take the air filter, the oil filter off. Don't really have to get under this car too heavily, to be honest, to do this service, and it's only going to take you probably 25 minutes in total to service the car, excluding the pollen filter. But we can see that oil is really, really dirty in here. It's not good at all. But I said this car was sat for a while before me buying it, hence I'm getting it done. All right, or I'm doing it, should I say, myself. Yeah, jeez, pretty dirty oil on that. Okay, I'll let that drip out for a little while. All right, moving around, let's go and look at the oil filter, which is more to the front. As you know, it's there. To be honest, you'd probably be able to do this by hand. Again, anti-clockwise on this. That's still catching the oil, and we'll go anti-clockwise on this if you're strong enough, which I'm probably not. Just continual pressure, which I could not do. I'm pretty sure I could if I wanted to. Two options: you can get an oil filter remover, oil filter remover that just goes around. It's a chain. You can use a screwdriver if it's a little bit more messy. Just pop it into that here like that. Tap a hammer, it will go through it, and then use that to crank it and turn it. Not all of them are going to be this tight. Okay, these oil filter removers are cheap to buy if you want to use one, if you feel the need that you have to use one. And essentially it goes round the oil filter like so. You just put it on the right one. I hope I've got this one right way around. I'm not a mechanic. Okay, got it the right way around. You hook it like that, and then essentially it'll tighten up on the filter. Once you pull that tight, it'll tighten up, and hopefully it will loosen the filter like so. As you see, that's turning. Makes it easy to do, but honestly 100% you can do it without that. If I put a bit more effort into that, I'd be able to do it. All right, our oil has stopped dripping out of the pan now, hardly any flow there at all. Okay, so we're just going to throw that back on and do that up. so she don't leak. Ask me for torque, it's my torque, yeah. I'm talking out to where it's tight. Do not overdo it. If you overdo it, you're going to spin it out, and it is then cause you massive problems. Okay, give that a wipe, work clean. You can see now that's all nice and clean. Okay, there's no leaks, there's no oil there. Bring the pan forward, so when you take the filter off, you are going to lose a bit of oil. Okay, now when I take this off, I do it slow. Okay, so it's loosened, and now I undo it. She's going to start dripping. Let it drip, let it run straight into the pan. As you can see, the pan has been moved forward, so it just runs straight in. Okay, yes, it's causing a little bit of a mess, but who cares? All the filter's going to be full of oil, obviously, so you can undo it. Just let it run straight down into the pan. Do it nice and slow. There's no need for speed here. The slower you do it, the less mess you'll make. I'm pulling it forward a tiny bit away from the car, and as you can see, because it's away, it's clean. I've not spilt one bit of oil, and actually I've not got one bit on my hand either. If you have a look, I'm just emptying the oil filter out. Remember, this canister is full of oil. Okay, so emptying it out like so. I'll turn it over. I'll just wipe the top edge with a cloth to stop it from running out. Okay, and then you could put that in a plastic bag and seal it up so it don't leak anywhere, to be disposed of properly at a later date. Okay, now if we go back up here, you can see, yeah, it's a little bit messy. So what? You know what I mean? Right, so what? We'll get the new oil filter on, which is here. Okay, we're using a blueprint one. Nice and sealed up. Hopefully they've sent the right one. Right. Now, normally, I'll be honest, normally I'll put some oil in it. Alright, I will fill it up, put oil in it, at least to get some round the canister, but I ain't doing no damage to this engine. Use a bit of your oil, just put a bit of oil around the seal there, just dipping my finger in this, not affect anything. Bit of oil around the seal, just so when it goes up against the car, it's not like solid dry rubber against it. Alright, so that's what I've done there. And then I'm putting it back up and screwing it on. These can be a bit of a pain in the ass to get levels on the screw, but again, you don't want to cross thread that. It should literally just flick on like that. Alright, and then you're going to tighten that up. Okay, I'm actually going to tighten this by hand. I'm not going to use the remover to do it up, because obviously you can use it in reverse as well, but you don't need to. That will be tight enough by hand. Now I've done that, I've got no oil leaking down. Now I'll clean the car up. Okay, you can get some spray, degreaser and stuff like that to clean the car properly, but wipe this all down. Don't want any oil running down, dripping down. Wipe it, wipe it, wipe it, wipe it. Nice and clean. Nothing will drip down. Here we go. So, as you can see, she's clean. Tighten up a bit more. Get under there. Tighten it by hand with my strong arm. There you go. That's solid now. Okay, that's solid, and the sump plug is solid as well. Right, that's it. That's all we need to do underneath. If you want, you can give it an extra little clean, just wipe around and bits and pieces, and everything looks all pretty. But again, this is a 1.25 Fiesta on 2012 plate. I'm not dealing with McLaren. I'm not saying that means one person's value less than others, because it's not, you know, but it's just about how kind of OCD you are and how clean you want everything. Just looking at the front again, I can see that on the other side it's also got a new caliper, which looks really good. Couldn't find the service history, the owner of this car, but driving it I could tell that obviously it's been looked after, apart from the interior is a bit grimy. We have to fucking sort that out. But there you go, oil filters on, oil's out. Let's get from underneath the car and get her oil topped up. Right, back with you, trying to do the oil, okay? Here's your oil filler here. Take it off, put it to one side, you twist it off anti-clockwise, and that's what it should look like, a clear symbol for oil, okay? Put it up there, then you've got your dipstick a bit lower down here. You pull it out, yellow, shows you how much oil is in the car currently, and I've wiped that, currently showing nothing, okay? Perfect oil depth would obviously be between the two marks on here, okay? At the moment, as I said, if I push it back in this hole at the front here, you will see it anyway, okay? It is registering no oil. We are dry. Okay, so we're going to get some oil in it. Put that to one side. I am going to use a funnel. You don't need to use a funnel. You can get it in here. Just wrap this around here so it's clean and you don't end up spilling it all over the engine. So if you're going to do it without that, wrap the cloth round so when you tip it in, if it does go over the side, it just lands on the cloth. But I'm going to use a funnel for the sake of it. It's much easier. Alright, so get the funnel in there. I'm going to get that some oil. Okay, I'm going to put, this has got 4 litres in it. I do not know how much this holds actually, so I'm going to put 2 litres in and I'm going to check the dip stick to make sure we are all good. Okay, so some 5W30 fully synthetic oil. You can buy it as like part of a package on eBay. How much have I got in there now? Some more. Very boring, guys, like watching paint dry. And that is it. Alright, that's 2 litres I've put in there. 2 litres of oil. Let it run through the engine and go down to the bottom, and we will check the levels. Don't want to overfill an engine with oil, it'll do as much damage as underfilling an engine with oil. But I can see that this is registering already. Alright. There you go, so you can see on there now. Let's move that slowly. Okay, it is registering, but it's just started registering. Alright, but let's let the oil go down and that will start climbing up and up and up. Give that a little twist in there. Again, now we're just below the minimum marker on the oil dipstick. You can see she's climbing. Okay, give it a couple of seconds, let the oil go down to the bottom into the sump, and then we'll put a tiny bit more in. Alright, give that a wipe. Let's have a look. Okay, so it seems to have stopped right there, which is just below minimum. Just get rid of that. Getting interrupted. So we'll put another ½ litre in. Remember, there's going to be some going into the oil filter, so we're going to have a little bit of loss there. It's got to go around the engine. So I've got ½ litre in. It's only a little engine. That's it. And let's see where we're standing. Right, that's now bang right in the middle of the 2 lines. As you can see, it's not super clear, but you can see it. Okay, right in the middle of the 2 lines. So I'm going to stop there for the moment. Make sure we're doing everything clean. So as I take this out, I then wipe the inside. Obviously I've got my little oil cloth here. Wipe the inside. Stop it from being messy. Alright, ready for your next car. Everything's nice and clean. Alright. So throw that down. Check the dipstick again. So I'm giving it a wipe. Like so. I'll dip it and see what it's showing. Give it a little twist, get it out. Now you can see it is showing just below the level it should be. if I turn it you can see. Okay, so we know we're close now, we're right in the middle, just above the middle. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put it all together and give the car a start. Let it run for 1 minute, switch it off, let it sit, and then we'll check the oil level again. This car has been sat for a long time, so I am having to use my jumper on it at the moment, but again I did tell you that she's not really been driven for a fair while by the previous keeper before I bought it. I plug that in, that goes nice and green, which it has. We'll give her a start. She'll probably be a bit louder when we first start her, and then she'll quiet up. Make sure it's in neutral. There you go, and she's running lovely. Nice and quiet. Let it run for 60 seconds, get some oil around the system, and we'll switch it off and retry the oil levels. Alright, really straightforward. Anyone worrying about having a go at doing this is definitely a DIY. Have a go, don't be worried, just have a go, and in fact you'll probably enjoy it. Alright, I can't believe how quiet this engine is. Right guys, that is it. You do your final dipstick check. You probably do it the following morning when it's all nice and cold. It'd be ideal. Everything's lubed up the engine, the oil filter's full of oil. You leave it sit and see where it's sitting. Let's have a look. So now we are showing below the minimum. Alright, obviously the oil's now worked its way up into the engine. We filled the filter up, so we can definitely get some oil, extra oil in this now actually. And look, I'm not going to use my civvy thing. I'm just going to go direct to show you can do it, which I've now done. A little top up. Okay, get the oil cap back on. Should be good to go. Let's just dip it one more time. Again guys, if you can, check your car in the morning when it's cold before you start it. We know there's enough oil in the engine, it's not going to blow up now. You'll get the real levels in the morning. There you go, that's just over half. I'm happy with that. I will check it again in a couple of hours, leaving the car not started. But essentially that's how easy it is. Change the oil in your car. It's not hard, everyone can do it. Just have a go, and you'll probably find it quite therapeutic, because it's all good fun. All right, so there you go, there's the Fiesta, all done, fully serviced, apart from the pollen filter. All right, but easy stuff. Check your fluids, check everything's okay. You can check your brake fluid, your lines are there. You can check all your other fluids as well. Don't know what's going on with that camera there. You can check your reservoir, your coolant levels. Everything else seems absolutely fine, and that's it. Service done. Next video will be soon.